At 2:05 a.m., our train stopped in the middle of nowhere. Outside my window was a short platform and a single yellow lamp. There was no station building, no parking lot, no signs that made sense. The doors opened anyway, right then. An older conductor leaned close and spoke fast, like he did not want the car to hear him. "You need to step out. Stand under the light. Do not answer anyone. Do not step past it." I almost laughed. Then a man walked out of the dark, smiled at me, and said my name like he had been waiting for me. That is the moment to remember. Everything before it was normal. Everything after it was not. Earlier that night, I was trying to get home to St. Louis, Missouri, after my uncle's funeral. I did the hugs, the handshakes, and the tired talk about how fast life moves. Then I went back to the airport with a heavy head, ready to be done with it. My flight was supposed to leave at 7:30 p.m. It got delayed, then delayed again, then cancelled. The gate agent offered to rebook me for the next day like it was nothing. I checked hotels. I checked rental cars. Nothing nearby. My phone battery was low, and my charger was back home. I could feel my patience slipping. By 9:30 p.m., I was at Union Station. The echoes made every footstep sound like it belonged to someone behind you. The air smelled like old coffee and floor cleaner. A woman at the information desk pointed at the board. "There is an overnight train to St. Louis," she said. "Leaves close to midnight." I bought the ticket at a kiosk because I could not handle another line. The paper came out warm in my hand. It showed my name and my destination. Nothing about any other stop. I found an outlet and charged my phone. I called my sister Nora. "You sound wrecked," she said. "I am," I told her. "I'm taking the train home." "At midnight?" she asked. "It's either that or sleep here," I said. "Text me when you arrive," she said. "If anything feels off, trust your gut." I promised. I thought the biggest risk was falling asleep and missing St. Louis. While I waited, I searched the train number to see the schedule. Most results were normal. Delays, complaints. One old forum post stood out. "Do not take the last train if you are alone." No details, just that line. I told myself it was just someone being dramatic, but I still took a screenshot. I did not know why. It felt like my hand moved on its own. I was not alone. At 11:20 p.m., the station speaker crackled. A rushed voice started reading a message. "Attention passengers on the train," it said. And then the message stopped like someone had covered the mic. The speaker clicked, hissed, and went dead. Most people ignored it. One man near the tracks looked up hard, like he understood it. Then he picked up his bag and left without a word. Boarding was called at 11:45 p.m. Right before I walked to the platform, I looked at my ticket again. A tiny code sat near the bottom, the kind of thing you never read. One letter was smudged, like the printer struggled for a second. I shrugged and kept moving. The train waited on the platform like a long metal hallway. The windows were dim. A few faces were pressed to the glass, sleepy and blank. At my car door stood an older conductor with grey hair under his cap. His uniform was neat, but his eyes looked worn. He took my ticket, glanced down, then up at me, then down again, like he was checking something that was not printed. "You headed to St. Louis?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "Just trying to get home." He handed the ticket back. "Sit near the middle," he said, "and keep your phone charged." That last part felt strange, but I nodded and stepped inside. I found a seat near the middle, aisle side. 2 rows ahead sat a man about my age in a hoodie and work boots. A backpack rested between his feet. He turned around and gave me a tired smile. "St. Louis?" he asked. "Yeah. Same. I'm Mark," he said. "Missed my bus." I told him my name. We talked quietly for a minute, the way strangers do when they are both too tired to be careful. Mark said he had a job site outside the city and did not want to lose a day's pay. "At least we're moving," he said. "At least," I agreed. At 11:58 p.m., the train pulled out of Chicago. Soon the window showed only black fields and dark lines of trees. The car settled into a late-night hush. People slept. The lights dimmed. A younger attendant walked through with a handheld scanner. He checked 2 tickets, then paused near my row. He did not ask for mine. He looked at the scanner, then looked at me. His face tightened for half a second. Then he moved on fast, like he had made a choice he did not want to explain. "You ever get that feeling?" Mark whispered. "Like everyone knows something you do not?" "No," I said, but my voice did not sound sure. He leaned closer. "My cousin worked freight for a while," he said. "He told me one thing. If you hear a stop name that is not on your ticket, keep your mouth shut." I gave a tired laugh. "That's the advice." "It's not advice," Mark said. "It's a rule." I tried to brush it off. I put in an earbud and played a podcast, but I kept pausing it. The train sounds felt too sharp. A clack here, a squeal there, like the metal was talking in a language I could almost understand. I drifted off, but only lightly. I woke up when the sound changed. The wheels made a long, sharp squeal. The car leaned slightly as we slowed. The feeling was wrong, like we were braking too hard for no reason. I checked my phone. 1:59 a.m. Outside was nothing but trees. No town lights, no houses, no crossing gates. Then the intercom crackled. "Next stop," a low voice said, too close to the microphone. A pause, like the speaker was choosing the words. "Next stop, Galloway." I sat up fast. Mark rose halfway from his seat and looked down the aisle. "What did he say?" he whispered. "Galloway," I said. A woman across the aisle blinked awake. Someone farther back asked, "Is that Springfield?" Mark shook his head. "Springfield has lights." I opened my map app. No service. I tried again. Still nothing. The train slowed more. At 2:05 a.m., we stopped. The platform outside was so small, it looked like it belonged to a rural bus stop, not a train line. A thin shelter leaned to one side. Beyond the light was solid darkness, thick trees and tall weeds. The door stayed shut. For a few seconds, nobody moved. Then passengers stood and pressed to the windows. Mark leaned toward me. "This is not on any route I know," he said. Before I could answer, footsteps came down the aisle. The older conductor appeared with a small flashlight in his hand, even though the car lights were on. He scanned faces like he was counting, but he stopped at my row. "You," he said low. "Come with me." Mark stood up. "What's going on?" The conductor did not look at him. "Sit down," he said. "Now." Mark did not sit. "If he's getting off, I'm getting off," he said. The conductor's eyes snapped to Mark. "No," he said. "You stay on the train." The way he said it was not normal authority. It sounded like a line you do not cross. I lifted my ticket. "Is there a problem?" I asked. The conductor took it, then turned it so I could see the small printed code near the bottom. A short string of letters and numbers. "See this?" he asked. "Yes." "It should not be there," he said.
Sometimes the system flags it as soon as the ticket prints. Dispatch sees it and calls me before we even leave the city. Tonight, they gave me your seat and your name. They told me if the train stops at Galloway, you step off and you stand under the light. My throat went dry. Why me? His voice dropped. Because it will call you, he said. Move. He led me to the end door. He did not rush, but his hand stayed close to the handle like he expected trouble the moment it opened. The door unlocked. Cold air rushed in, wet and sharp. I stepped down onto the platform. The lamp buzzed above my head. Bugs spun around it. The light made the ground look pale and unreal. The conductor pointed to the center of the light. "Stand there," he said. "Hold your bag." Behind the glass, faces watched. Mark's face was right there, tight and worried. "This is insane," Mark mouthed. I turned to the conductor. "What is this place?" I asked. He stared into the darkness beyond the light. "It is a stop the schedule does not admit," he said. "The last train stops here so it can keep going." "That makes no sense," I said. "It does not have to," he replied. "It only has to work." From farther down the train, another door opened with a soft thud. A shape moved at the edge of the darkness, outside the light's reach. Footsteps started, slow and steady, coming toward us. My body went cold. A man walked into the light. He looked about 30, clean face, dark hair, no coat, no bag. His clothes were neat but old-looking, like he belonged in a photo from years ago. He smiled like we were meeting on purpose. "Hey," he said, "you made it." The conductor's voice cut in. "Stop there." The man ignored him and looked right at me. His eyes were bright in the lamp's glow. "You're late," he said softly, almost kindly. I could not speak. Then he said my first name, not guessed, not asked, said like he had used it many times. My hands clenched around my backpack straps. Inside the car, Mark pounded the window and shouted, "Do not answer him!" The man's smile did not change. "It's all right," he said to me. "You're tired. You've had a hard week. You'd such want quiet." My chest tightened because it was true. I had not told anyone that. I had barely admitted it to myself. "There's a seat waiting," he said. "Just one step. Then you can rest." My feet felt heavy and loose at the same time, like they wanted to move without my permission. The conductor grabbed my arm, firm. He leaned close. "Stay in the light," he said. "Stay quiet." The man took a small step forward, stopping right at the edge of the light, like he knew a boundary existed. "Say something," he said. "Just one word." I felt an urge to answer, not because I trusted him, but because my brain wanted the mute to end. I could feel the word forming in my throat. Mark's voice came again, raw and loud. "Stay in the light!" I swallowed hard. I shook my head once. The man's smile faded. He stood disappointed, almost patient. "Fine," he said. "Not tonight." He pointed into the darkness. "But you heard the stop," he said. "So now you know where it is." Then he turned and worried. As he crossed the edge of the light, his battling blurred, like the darkness was taking pieces of him back. His footsteps went quiet, too fast. The conductor watched the trees for several long seconds. Then he pulled me toward the train. "Back on," he said. "Now." I stumbled up the step. He slammed the door shut and locked it. The metal click sounded final. The train started moving almost immediately. People began to speak at once, low and shaking.
What was that? Where did we stop? Did anyone see him?
The conductor walked down the aisle without answering. His face was tight, and his eyes stayed forward. Mark leaned close to me. "Are you okay?" he asked. I nodded, but my hands were shaking. Mark's voice dropped. "My cousin told me about a place like that," he whispered. "He called it a ghost stop. He said it tries to get one person to step off for good. He said the trick is it makes you choose it." I stared at the dark window. My reflection looked pale, like I was sick. The rest of the ride felt like borrowed time. Every creak made me flinch. Every time the intercom hissed, I held my breath. At 3:20 a.m., we stopped at a normal station with signs and lights, and a name I recognized. People got on and off. The world acted normal. By morning, we rolled into St. Louis. The platform was busy. People walked fast with coffee. Someone complained about traffic. Life did not care what happened at 2:05. I stepped off and stood still, letting the ground stop moving under my feet. The older conductor was near the front. I walked to him. "What was Galloway?" I asked. He looked at me like he had heard the question before. "Did you answer him?" he asked. "No." "Did you step past the light?" "No." He nodded once. "Good." "That's not enough," I said. "You said dispatch flagged my ticket." His eyes narrowed. "Some tickets print wrong," he said. "A bad code. Dispatch sees it. When that happens, they tell us the seat and the name. They tell us what to do. They do not tell us why." "And the man?" I asked. The conductor's jaw tightened. "That stop is not for passengers," he said. "It is for the last train. It stops there so the line stays open. There is a price. He collects it." I felt sick. "So it was trying to take me." "It was trying to get you to take yourself," he said. He lowered his voice. "Do not look it up," he said. "Do not chase it. If you chase it, you will hear it again. And next time, you might be tired enough to answer." He turned away and walked down the platform, leaving me with that warning like a weight. I got into my car and sat with my hands on the steering wheel. My phone had service again. One new file sat in my voice memo app. Timestamp, 2:05 a.m. Length, 5 seconds. I did not remember recording anything. I told myself to delete it. Then my thumb pressed play like it was not mine. For the first moment, I heard the trains rattle and the faint buzz of that lamp. Then I heard my own voice, quiet and flat, whispering, "Just one step." I hit stop so hard, my phone slipped in my hand. I deleted the memo. I deleted it from the trash. I turned my phone off and drove home with the radio loud. 11 days later, on October 29th, 2024, I woke up at 2:05 a.m. without an alarm. My room was dark. My phone screen glowed on the nightstand. A voicemail notification sat at the top. Unknown number. I did not press it. I could already hear the sound that mattered. Faint at first, then clearer, like steel wheels on track. And under it, a calm voice, too close to a microphone. "Next stop," it whispered. I turned my phone off and sat up until sunrise, listening to the quiet, waiting for the world to feel normal again. I'm telling you this because people will keep taking the last train when they are desperate, tired, and just trying to get home. If you ever hear a stop name you do not recognize, and the train slows down where there are no town lights, and the doors open to a platform with one yellow lamp, remember what saved me. Stand under the light. Stay quiet. Do not step past it. Because some places do not want company. They want permission.